So welcome. You're in the right place if you are looking to watch and tune in to how to create compelling wellness content that resonates. So I see this problem. So you can raise your hand and you can like comment in the comment section below if you have tried posting consistently without much engagement. Or maybe you've purchased courses or programs that supposedly want to solve your traffic problem, yet you're still not getting the amount of clients that you desire, the number of clients that you want in your business. Or maybe you're just starting out, and by the time that you sit down, it's like everyone says, okay, create content, right? And by the time you sit down to write content, you don't have a clue what to write, where to start, and that blank Google Doc seems intimidating, right? That blank page. And so you are in the right place if you've experienced any of those. And hopefully, what I'm going to talk about, my two key things that I'm going to talk about with you today, is going to help you out. So lack of engagement, I've seen, is usually a symptom that of not knowing exactly the kind of problems that or the kind of problems you're solving for your clients. So maybe you started your business, your wellness business, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I've gotten this results, I've gotten my health, I've lost weight, I've done so many things, and I've experienced these breakthroughs, and I'm such a better person, and I'm in a better health condition. Or maybe you went to college to learn that specific skill or expertise, and so you know the kind of results that you deliver to your potential clients, but you don't necessarily know the problems that you're solving for them. And so ultimately, what would help a lot, number one, so the first key thing is to know yourself. And what do I mean by that? This is about yes, having the expertise, having the wisdom, and having the skills, but also knowing the value that you bring to the table. And so this goes beyond branding, because what I see is typically wellnesspreneurs that we focus too much on what format do I use? Do I do reels? Do I do carousel posts? Or which platform do I use? Do I use Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, etc.? Or when it comes to branding, like how does my logo look like? Where am I going to get my logo? What kind of colors and fonts am I going to put on there, right? So um, these are all great things to consider, and these are things that I definitely also teach, but you don't start there. It's not the most important thing, right? So knowing yourself and the value that you bring to your clients' lives is going to be the most critical thing here in knowing yourself. So maybe you've seen maybe a Facebook profile or Instagram account, and maybe they're posting consistently, but something is off about it. Something is inauthentic about it. Maybe but you can't quite put your finger on it, right? And so one of the reasons this could be is that somebody could just be blindly following somebody else's strategy or tactic, or worse, they're copying somebody else's words. Or maybe they're using AI to write their content or their copy, and they're using ineffectively. There's ways that you can do AI well, only if you know yourself, only if you know the problems that you're solving for your clients, your potential clients, right? So what is your value? I'll give you an example. Let's talk about skill sets as like a factor that adds to your value, right? So I see value as when you stack your skill sets, you are having a synergistic effect. So what I mean by that is one plus one is not equal to two. A synergistic effect is one plus one equals five, right? So it's exponential effect when you stack your skills. So an example would be in terms of my skills is I graduated with an animal science and management degree. right? I was pre-vet. I originally wanted to go to vet school. I'm so glad I didn't. But for those of you who are vets, I'm sure it's one of the best jobs in the world, especially if you love animals. But my that degree, animal science and management, is good for a research analyst in the biotech industry, which is where I worked in South San Francisco right after college, right? But I realized it wasn't for me, and so I decided, you know what? At that time, I had my weight loss transformation. I decided to get my personal training certification, and in building that business, I started with like a fitness boot camp at first. I learned marketing, right? I learned search engine optimization. I learned how to create marketing campaigns and marketing funnels. I wrote blog posts for the SEO. I even did YouTube videos. I have YouTube videos way back then, right? So essentially, I learned how to promote something on top of knowing my having my personal training certification. And then in building that business, I eventually built that business to before I left it, the year before, we made over $500,000 in a year from that business. So you can see that it's a very sizable business. But in order to create that business, to create the results for that business, I had to learn how to hire team members, how to onboard team members, how to have a run a gym while not being there and being able to manage it because I have kids and all that, right? So all of these skills stacked to each other just in that. And so when I got presented with an MLM opportunity for a supplement that I love, I ranked up pretty quickly from there because I knew about marketing. I knew how to promote something. I knew how to talk to people, right? So, in that same MLM business, I also learned how to build a team because I learned how to build a team in my gym, right? In my gym business. So all of these stack up. And so and then after that, after I left the gym industry, I've always been interested in affiliate marketing. And this was like at the beginning of COVID. So I decided, you know what, I've heard about affiliate marketing way back before where I was still kind of just fresh out of college. I actually started blogging about my weight loss journey. That's actually how it started. But anyway, so affiliate marketing, I got into it and I actually got some amazing results. I made like thousands of dollars just from a couple of promotions. And so I'm like, wow, this online marketing is really lucrative, and so I decided to learn more about it, and so now all of my skills are stacking up, right? And now that I have all these skills, it's all contributing now to being able to um, coach other wellnesspreneurs on how to build a thriving business, whether it's just to build your local practice or also have an online component to it as well. Again, I believe that you should have both. If you don't, that's totally cool. But all of these things will apply. All of my skills will apply to helping and mentoring wellnesspreneurs on how you can build a profitable, sustainable, and stable business, right? With the right foundation. So, um, in comparing the skills that I have, the other day I was curious just how much companies will pay for my specific skill sets, the ones that I just mentioned to you, right? And so the job title that I found, which was very interesting, it said marketing analyst, health and wellness. And the job starts to pay at $90,000 and it maxes out at $170,000. And that's cool. Like for somebody who maybe doesn't have a big vision like me, they're probably like, I'll take it, right? Because $90,000, I don't care where you live. That a year. It's pretty good, right? But because I know the value that I bring to the table and the impact I want to bring to the world, for me, it was too low because I know that my vision is big. I want to make a huge impact in the world. And I know that I can make so much more and make so much more money and make so much more impact with the wellnesspreneurs that I'm going to help and the thousands of clients that they're going to achieve to help as a result of working with me, right? And also, I get to build business my own way, which I haven't had a job in 14 years. So That tells you that how much I like to do business my way. So what I'm talking about here really goes beyond branding, because you'd want to really be get really good at knowing who you are, what are your skills and talents, and what lights you up, and then find the people that will pay the most for those skill sets and expertise and wisdom, because they believe that you were the expert that they can trust to deliver those specific results that they're looking for, right? So what I'll do, because when you know your value, you don't have self-doubt. So imposter syndrome goes out the door and your confidence shoots up. So the key is to know yourself first, right? So what I would like to do is think about your journey so far. What skill sets have you honed in the process? And how are they contributing to your business now? And then in what ways can they add value to your life and your clients' lives? So those are all good like journal prompts. I would recommend like free flowing with it and just answering those questions, and just going into silence and really just contemplating those questions and just writing down what comes up, because I assure you that when you're in that flow state, the answers that will come to you are going to be so much different. So I will give you an example of one of my clients that I actually just talked to her last week, so just a few days ago. She's a chiropractor, and as a chiropractor, she does different modalities. So she does the traditional like crack your bones kind of chiropractic. She also does a modality called network spinal, which is more like energetic in terms of um, moving the energy in the spine, so she doesn't actually touch you. And then she also does a not chiropractic related modality called life activation, which I also do. That's actually how we met. And so when we were talking about all of those skills and how those skills like relate and stack to each other, I'm like, okay, why you can ultimately package these different modalities, and together based on the results that those modalities, if you're going to do all three modalities in one package for example, then you can describe the results of what your patients are going to get, because they combined all those modalities in that package, right? So that is going to be more valuable than just selling session packages, or worse, one session at a time, right? Which more and more chiropractic places are doing nowadays. Like was the joint, I believe, is doing that, which is fine because they're big, right? But for somebody who has specialized skills like her, I that stacking those skill sets becomes really really valuable, right? So the second is know your audience. So this is the second key, is know your audience. And a lot of wellnesspreneurs, and my client who's a chiropractor, probably what she won't be able to come up with those packages unless she's thinking of a specific patient that could be useful for. And so key number two is going to be important because it's going to help you niche, right? And I know like that word, the N word, right, is kind of like, I've heard that so many times. I can't even remember the number of times I've heard it, but it's true. But I think that wellnesspreneurs tend to not niche down, or find their target audience, because they might think that niching down is going to excludes a lot of people from working with them, right? Which it actually does the opposite. And ultimately, what you want is to find those people who, one, find the most value in your work, and so they're going to give you the most money for the work that you do, because they value you and they value you as a trusted expert. And so that's ultimately the perfect storm that we're looking for here, right? Because yes, you've spent so much money and your own expertise in getting um in getting your certifications or your education or your experience, right? You've gone to events most likely in addition to those expertise. And so why not bring the best care to the people that are going to value those, right? So knowing your audience is going to be important. And here's what I like to say. What is most personal is most general. And what I mean by that, I'll explain, because what I've been seeing is more and more wellnesspreneurs, if they want to, let's say, go online, they tend to go and create a group coaching program or a course or something like that, right? When they don't even know the kind of problems that they're solving, right, for their people. And so, how are you going to ensure that the group program or the group coaching that you're going to put out there, or you're going to create ahead of time, is going to be effective for the people if you don't even know the problems that you're solving or the problems that they're having in their life, right? And so this is the reason why in when I started with online coaching, I started with one on one. I did not start with a group program. A lot of gurus will tell you to do a group program right away. I tend to not like that because one, again, you could be creating useless a useless program that's not going to get anyone result because you don't exactly know the problem that you're solving for people. And then two, you're going to waste all that effort because it's not going to benefit you, it's not going to benefit everyone, anyone, and then it's not going to be dialed in to the point that your potential clients are going to resonate with it and are going to want to have it, right? So this is why I recommend with any new wellness business to start with one-on-one coaching, because in this format you can have this deep connection with the client and you can know their deepest struggles. What do they go through on a moment to moment basis, on a daily basis? What are the things that they're thinking about? What are the situations that they're dealing with? What is the environment they're in that's causing them to have the symptoms that they have, the problems that they have, right? So knowing these specific needs, the painful situations that they go through on a daily basis, and then being able to solve those problems from your arsenal of your expertise and your wisdom is way, way more powerful because it's tailored for them, right? And so when you work with enough one on one clients, what's most personal is most general, which means that helping that one client get the best results is going to help you generate the content that will resonate with your future clients. And then they will gladly pay you for it, for whatever service or group program you create after that, because they trust that you are the one who is meant to solve their problem. They're going to feel like you know exactly what their problem is and that you know exactly how to solve that specific problem, right? So, for example, with my current one-on-one client who is a fitness coach, when she wants to start to transition out of in-personal training into virtual personal training and eventually come up with her own signature coaching group program. But before working with her, I thought the first thing that we need to create was a lead magnet, right? So she can start to build her email list and all that stuff. Then, as we started working together on our first session, I realized that she still wasn't clear about who her ideal client is and the problem that she's solving for them. So, exactly what we're talking about today, right? And it's not just weight loss. You think a fitness coach will, they're gonna solve is gonna be weight loss. No, that's more like the result, right? And it's not like I want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight, right? So not knowing the problem that she's solving for them ultimately, and not having a clear message for that ideal client, which will affect the kind of content that she puts out, right? The lead magnet that she creates, and then as well as how she will design her signature program, what she will write on the sales page, what she will talk about on her discovery calls or her consultation calls, right, with new potential clients. Like all of those things are affected by knowing yourself, your value, and then knowing your audience very well, as if you're like living their life, right? That's the way to create content that resonates. And it's not going to happen from a group from launching a group coaching program immediately. It's going to require some beta testing. It's going to require some working one-on-one, deep in your clients' lives, and having that deeper connection with them, so that you can create something that's effective for more people when you're ready to create your group coaching program, right? And your content and your all the other stuff after that, right? So she started putting out her clear message. She started writing content on it, and her focus for now, because we haven't created her signature program yet, is to create to sell her one-on-one virtual coaching, personal training coaching, right? So basically people work out with her. She has like this mirror thing that they buy from her, and that's how they work out together. The client is virtually. So instead of a Zoom, it's like a mirror, which is, I think, is pretty cool. So anyway, um in her putting out her more aligned content and building her business foundation, while she's doing that and while she's learning how to what she's going to put in her signature program, during our first six sessions, she sold a 12-month and a 6-month package totaling about $12,000 in revenue, right? So to this particular client, she bought my highest coaching package, which is $3,333, 3333. But in working with me, she made 12,000 in just 6 weeks. So that means that my coaching actually didn't cost her anything. Instead, she made $8,667, right? Which is awesome. Um, and so this is where your skills come in, and knowing who your audience really is. Because once you get that dialed in, then you can go on to put out more content and create the group program and write the sales page and do more calls and all that stuff, right? But it's about making that signature program, group coaching, whatever, online course, whatever it is that you're trying to create, so dialed in and so exceptional that it's going to be hard not to refer you to other people and have your clients market for you, right? So, for example, right now, as I'm building this particular coaching business, my current package are around 3K, like I said. But as I stack my skills, I get better at what I do. I get more in demand. I have less time available for new clients, right? And then I can increase my rate to 5K, 10K, 15K, right? By that time, I can get so good that I have dialed in my content, my sales pages, my signature programs. I know for a fact, and it builds my confidence, that my programs and my service are going to be so impactful for my clients, right? And they're going to be so effective because I did the initial work of making that product, that service exceptional. And I improved along the way while also making money along the way, because I mean, we all need the money, right? Because we all live in a place called Earth where money is still the main form of trade. So I say this, I say my client story as well, because a lot of us look at that like, oh my gosh, it's so costly to pay for coaching. Whereas actually, the most expensive thing that all of us are paying for is the information we don't know, right? So, to most of us, our natural skills, our talents, our expertise, our the things that light us up, we're blind to those, we're unconscious to them. So sometimes it takes a friend or a mentor to recognize those natural skills and talents. And then, two, to show us how to let those shine through in the work that we do in the world, right? So that includes our content. So our lead magnets, our coaching program, everything else in between, that helps in all of that, right? So if you're at that point where you're done paying for the cost of information that you don't know, I am making these one of two spots available for you for my magnetic content audit call. So I've talked about this also in my the first live video last week. So this is just a reminder that this is available to you as a member of the magnetic content Facebook group for wellness professionals. So in these magnetic content audit call, what we're going to do is I'm going to help you get crystal clear on the vision and the message that will make your content magnetic and resonate as a trusted expert in your industry. And then I'm also going to show you how you can quickly gain traction in your marketing so you can attract those high quality repeat clients and have them find you instead of you having to find them. And then also we're going to uncover what is stopping you from truly stepping into that trusted expert that you are, and then creating that dream business and life that you know you deserve. And then we're also going to come up with a plan to take you from where you are to where you want to be. And then if you're inspired, you can choose the next aligned action to take your income to the next level. And if it feels like a perfect fit, I'll share the next steps to take you to becoming that trusted expert and letting that shine through and grow your practice even faster. So that is the content for today, the live stream for today, the topic. Hopefully that helps. I know most of you are probably just going to watch the replay. So if you have any questions, again, I'm watching the dashboard, so I don't know actually if there are any comments, or it doesn't even show who's watching. But if you have any questions or you're watching the replay, you can just drop them in the comments. I'm always gonna get notified when there's comments in there. And if you want one of those two spots for the magnetic content audit call, just drop me in the comments, and we'll be sure to get you booked on my calendar. So without further ado, that is all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope this helped you. Again, any questions, just drop them below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.